Well, hello everybody and welcome back to MBE Box Office, where we discuss and break down the top 10 best performing films within the United Kingdom's box office. And Stephen, this is for the weekend of April 26th to 28th, 2019, and the absolute Goliath juggernaut that is, I'll let you see it, is in this week, Stephen.
Dumbo, no, it's Avengers Endgame in its first week,
Yes,
John.
Jesus Christ.
43.3 million over the weekend and, of course, overall.
Yes, and that's its opening weekend. Of course, we don't have the figures for this weekend. We are always a weekend behind. But Stephen, £43.3 million in its opening weekend. It doesn't compute. We have Captain Marvel sitting way down after 8 weeks, and it's not even hit that.
No.
In 8 weeks, 2 months. I would normally see a film, maybe if it's really, really successful, taking 2 or 3 weeks to hit that figure. This has done it in 1 weekend, and it really is a story that's transferred over into the wider areas in the world as well, obviously internationally.
Yep.
It's now sitting at $2.188 billion worldwide, just shy of $2.2 billion, and we've just hit its second weekend.
Yeah.
It is astonishing, Stephen.
Listen, John,
it is now number 2 in the all-time rankings.
Part of me, this is going to sound strange, but part of me thinks I didn't expect this. The other part of me thinks it did, expect
Did
this.
we do an over-under on the potential of this beating Avatar?
I don't think we did.
I don't think we did. We really should have.
I don't think we should do it now because...
No, I don't want to jinx it.
No, it's not just that. I think it's looking that way anyway.
I'm upset I didn't bet on it. But I'm really pleased to see that it is on track to topple Avatar as the greatest or the top grossing film of all time. I've been shouting to the rooftops for this to happen, Stephen, for about 5 years now. The Force Awakens, I was praying it would topple it.
Yeah.
Infinity War. But now it looks like Endgame is finally going to topple it, and I can't think of a better or a more deserving film.
There was a bit of concern prior to its release, John. There was a few good points made online on some of the other shows on YouTube in regards to the running time might have an actual negative effect because the running time is so long. It wouldn't allow for more screenings of the film, within a daily sort of schedule. But I don't think it's had any effect on it at all.
It's not. That's what makes this all the more astonishing, Stephen. The fact that it is a 3-hour film and it still ran away with such success so early on in its box office, obviously stint. This film is now sitting at just over $600 million in the United States as well, Stephen. 2 weekends in. I don't even know if that is 2 weekends. I don't know how that date is marrying up. But it's close to 2 weekends. And it's nearly at number 1 already. It's absolutely ridiculous, the performance, and I'm so glad because I really enjoyed it, Stephen. I thought
so much so we saw it twice.
Yeah, exactly. I've seen it twice already. Stephen, I've heard someone say that it's the most film or movie they've ever consumed in one sitting in a theatre. There's so much going on. It's so dense with stories and characters and little things going on there that it's the most film they've ever consumed in a theatre, and I completely agree. Cannot think of a more deserving film to take the number 1 spot, and I pray to sweet baby Jesus, if he's up there, that it does topple Avatar. It looks like it's going to.
I think it's going to.
And James Cameron will be crying. Well, he won't really, because he's a very rich man.
Yeah.
And he's got Avatar 2 and 3, 4 and 5 coming out. So
yeah, he's a busy man. But listen, we'll move on, John, to number 2 this week. It is Dumbo.
Yes.
And its 5th week. It's grossed another £1 million over the weekend. Overall, 23.6 million.
Just 23.6 million. It's absolutely shocking, isn't it? No, it's not. It's just because Endgame is a behemoth. That is a fantastic performance, Stephen, for a animated classic remake which get pilled. I think that's the word, pilled. Get destroyed by the critics. They were saying it was poor, it was crap. Tim Burton had destroyed this beloved childhood fantasy sort of experience. But look, it's doing well now. So I'm glad to see, because I enjoyed the film, Stephen. I went to see it once. I'm not going to go and see it again. But I'm a big Tim Burton fan, and I went for him alone. Really enjoyed Colin Farrell on it. Enjoyed the animation of Dumbo. Can't recall the original, but I get something out of this. It's for the younger age and demographic, and I think they've enjoyed it as well. And that's represented in its performance, Stephen. $338.7 million worldwide, off of a $170 million budget. It's made a profit, I think.
I think getting another £1 million over the weekend, John, in its 5th week's very decent. Considering the bad press it has got, as you said. But listen, we'll move on to number 3, John. It's Wonder Park in its 3rd week. It's grossed £500,000 over the weekend, 3.8 million overall.
Yeah, Stephen, this is another movie, film, whatever you want to call it, which got bad press prior to its release. But £3.8 million in the United Kingdom after 3 weeks isn't to be sneered at. It's not the best performance in the world, but I believe it's a Paramount release, and it's done absolutely fine. $111.8 million worldwide. I don't know the production budget. It could be crap, this performance. It could be great.
Yeah.
But without the budget to really compare against, I can't say for certain. But look, I'm not going to go and see it. Despite looking at the trailers and actually thinking it was okay, it was quite funny in parts. I'll wait till it comes on a Netflix or perhaps terrestrial TV, as they call it over here.
Yeah. We'll move on to number 4, John. It's Red
Yes.
Joan. This is the Dame Judi Dench, I should say.
Yes.
Film.
Dame.
Yeah, in its second week, it's grossed £400,000 over the weekend, 1.5 million overall.
Yeah, Stephen, I think we spoke about this last week.
Yeah,
I'm
we
pretty sure we
did,
did. I says I'm perhaps not going to go and see it, purely because it's Lionsgate. And try and avoid their films if I can. Sadly, John Wick's coming out, and that's Lionsgate, and I can't avoid that.
Yep.
But look, I really like Dame Judi Dench. She's a fantastic actress. So fair play to it. It's grossed £1.4 million, 2 weeks in. It couldn't have had the biggest production budget. I think it's grossed $500,000. I don't know what its worldwide grossing is. I had a brief look, Stephen. I'll have a look again. $500,000. So is that right? $500,000? That doesn't seem right to me, but it is. So it couldn't have had a great rollout.
I don't think so, John. I think
States.
I think the subject matter as well,
It's
in
British
regards to being a British spy working alongside the KGB, etc. Probably doesn't have the same appeal as it would have over here. But
it's a story I wasn't even aware of, Stephen.
No, but listen, I'm not going to go out to the cinema and see it.
And as you know, Stephen,
I will wait to it comes on Sky or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. I do like a period piece, so I'm being a slight hypocrite here, but look,
I'm sure you'll catch it when it comes on terrestrial TV or whatever, John.
Yes.
But number 5 this week is Shazam. It's in its 4th week now. It's grossed another £400,000 over the weekend, 12.9 million, just under £13 million overall.
Yeah, Stephen, see when you look at that in comparison to Endgame, you do think that's just so underwhelming, but you need to remember this is a mid-sized superhero film, mid-sized budget, $100 million, and look, it's grossed $355.5 million worldwide, so that's a success for a character which was deemed a bit of a joke.
Yeah.
People were questioning DC's wisdom as to why they were wanting to create a film about this guy, but they've been obviously, what would be the word? I can't recall. They've been proven right anyway by releasing it because it's made a decent little profit.
Yep.
Vindicated.
Yeah, that's the word, Number 6 this week, John, it's Captain Marvel. It's in its 8th week now, and it's grossed £400,000 over the weekend, 39.5 million overall. 8
weeks. So that really again just goes to, I don't want to keep repeating this mantra, show you how much of an absolute joke the performance of Endgame is, because this film is a massive success for Disney and the MCU, Stephen. $1.1 billion worldwide after 2 months is a fantastic performance. One of the better performing, I would presume, MCU films. They all seem to hit in and around $1 billion. I can't recall what Ant-Man and the Wasp got. I think it may have been 700 million or something. But that was a very small release coming off the back of the exhausting experience of watching Infinity War. And it was the 3rd film in a year. This was the first release of 2019 for the MCU. We then had Endgame, and now we're going to get Spider-Man Far From Home, which I think will do perhaps better than what Ant-Man did in the same release sort of a slate last year.
I think the film's done remarkably well, John.
It has,
considering considering everything that's sort of happened outside of the film itself, with certain press things that have gone clashing and stuff like that with the lead actress. But listen, John,
I'm just surprised to see, Stephen, it's not had a bit of a bounce after Endgame. It's actually dropped from 3rd.
Yeah, I thought it was a great movie. I thought Brie Larson was excellent as well. Samuel Jackson, excellent as always. It makes me wonder why the film wasn't released maybe last year or the year before. I'm pretty sure we were ready for this character anyway. Some people have said that the release of the film's been shoehorned into, to tie in with Endgame.
I think it has, Stephen. I think they also tried to do what they did with Black Panther last year.
Yeah.
do this tie-in so they can get introduced to this character, and then they'd get a bounce from that. And I don't think that was necessary. But to be fair,
Black Panther was introduced in Civil War,
Precisely,
but this character just came out of nowhere, and I liked the way they handled it in Endgame. I don't want to talk about Endgame now, we're talking about Captain Marvel, but talking about the character, I liked the way that the Don Cheadle character said, hey new girl, this is, where were you, etc. I like the way that was handled, because Captain Marvel, the film, came before Endgame.
Yeah.
Although,
and that's why it's important.
The sequence was
shot out of sync.
But I thought some of the key scenes in Endgame involving Captain Marvel are sort of reintroduction as well. At the finale of Endgame was quite spectacular as well.
Yeah.
But listen, I enjoyed the film. I can't wait to see more of the character, see how it develops, especially in that sort of world building as well.
One could only hope, though, Stephen, that Brie Larson becomes a little bit more, how shall I say, humble.
Well, we talked about this before we came on there as well, John, in regards to sort of pressure that the actress is under, because it must be quite overwhelming at times. I know that certain people have come in, the likes of Paul Rudd and Tom Holland,
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Exactly, they've come in, and just
mesh in.
Yeah. I just think some of the sort of press interviews regards to Brie Larson were very tense, she was very uptight.
Doesn't come across as a very likeable person at times. I don't know if it's part of an inner joke.
It could be, John.
A great big hoax.
But I hope so. But listen, I hope to see more of the character. Away from all the sort of crap that was surrounding this film.
Yeah.
I thought the film was great. I liked the character as well. As we said before, we even saw the movie. It's Marvel's version of Superman, the most powerful sort of being. And she is going to be coming
into prominence, Stephen, with this shift in focus in Phase 4 to the more cosmic side of the MCU universe. So she will have a part to play with the Asgardians of the galaxy, obviously 4 now tacked on. So she's going to be coming into promise.
And we all know who's really in charge there as well.
Yeah.
We really do.
Yeah, 4. Yeah. Not Peter Quill, Star-Lord. But Stephen, we shall move on to number 7.
Yeah.
We've done that one to the death, and it's Wild Rose. Obviously that little film about a Scottish singer-songwriter wanting to try her luck in Tennessee, and this one has grossed another £197,000 at the weekend, £198,000. I'll round it up because it deserves it. It's dropped 27.1% on its last performance, obviously the weekend previous. It's down theatres, and it's now sitting at a total gross of £2.1 million in the United Kingdom. 3 weeks in, Stephen, so not too bad.
7.5 out of 10 on IMDb as well, John.
Yeah.
Not really sure. I don't think it's got a lot of theatres, theatrical releases here in Glasgow. 13 to be precise, just saw that there. But listen,
it's a fairly small scale release, 305 theatres. So.
It's a good cast though, to be fair. You've got the likes of Julie Walters in there, Jessie Buckley. But it's a good cast. It's a film, I think, a bit like Fisherman's Friends.
Yeah.
I think it's one of these ones.
Small scale, British centric.
Yeah, I think perhaps maybe once it comes on Sky or whatever, I'll probably catch it then. It's certainly 7.5 out of 10's pretty good going.
Yeah,
after I think 1,500 movie reviews on IMDb. But we'll move on, John, to number 8 this week. It's Missing Link.
Yes.
It's in its 4th week. It's grossed £200,000 over the weekend, $3 million overall.
Yeah, Stephen, this was obviously a film I went to see a week ago, 2 weeks ago now, I think it was actually, because I went to see Endgame last week. I didn't get a chance to speak about it the previous week, and to be honest with you, Stephen, we are now 15 minutes into a show. We try to condense as much as possible, so I'm going to keep it very brief. But needless to say, I'm glad to see it's grossed £3 million 4 weeks in, because I really like to see stop motion films, like a studio stop motion films in particular, doing well at the box office. It's a dying art, it's a fantastic process. We've got a team of, I think, a couple of hundred people, maybe slightly less, who spend a ridiculous amount of time creating and crafting these incredibly detailed little figures.
Yeah.
And then they subtly change their movements and craft scenes over a ridiculous period of time. I think it takes maybe, I think 1 day, I don't think it's as long as that, but it's about 4 or 5 hours worth of tinkering with the characters relates to maybe one scene.
Mental.
Or 4 or 5 seconds of footage.
Really
it is a real painstaking
yeah.
painstaking sort of a I don't know how to explain it, but it doesn't matter. It's a work of art, essentially.
Yeah, it definitely
A
is.
labour of love was what I was trying to say.
That's the one, yeah.
$16 million worldwide, Stephen. It's not amazing by any means, but for a film of this nature, I can't imagine it has a massive budget. So I hope.
Well, if you look at the cast, John, I don't know about that.
I hope that it has grossed enough to eke out a profit and it can continue on, because I don't want to see this great studio perhaps having to close down because it's not connecting the way it should. It was a great story, incidentally. I really enjoyed it.
Greta is in at number 9, John, in its second week. It's grossed another £200,000 over the weekend, £800,000 overall.
Yes, and it's grossed $13.5 million worldwide as well, Stephen. So look, we've reacted to this one.
We did.
We reacted to the trailer. It looked interesting. It looked like a sort of a mystery, horror element, thriller sort of a film. Obviously, Chloe Grace Moretz. I think the leading person, I think it was Greta, was her name, was played by some French actress. It looked interesting. I've not had a chance to go along and see it yet, purely because I have been going to see Endgame and a couple of other films. But look, Stephen, £800,000 in the United Kingdom after 2 weeks. You can't really polish a turd. It's not doing that great in terms of box office performance anyway. I can't speak about its obviously cinematic elements of the film because I've not seen it. But £13 million is not too bad. It can't have had a massive budget.
Just out of curiosity, John, I'll probably catch this on Sky Movies at some point. You're right, I think the trailer was actually decent.
It was not too bad.
It was intriguing enough, you know, it caught our attention, and to go out to the cinema, perhaps not.
6.2 out of 10 on IMDb.
Yeah.
It's average.
It's pretty average, yeah.
Yeah.
But we'll move on to the final film of this week's box office, John. I was about to say blog rundown. It's a film called Little, and it's grossed £100,000 over the weekend, 1.7 million overall in its third week. That's strange. I don't remember talking about this one.
I spoke about it in its first stint in the box office, Stephen.
Was it kind of?
Yeah, it's dropped out and came back in. I think it's a sort of reverse engineered big.
Yeah, I've just read the synopsis.
Instead of this young character becoming an older character, it's the adult version of this lady. I think she goes through a turmoil, a stressful moment in her life, and she wakes up one morning to find she's a younger version of herself, and she has to go through school and stuff like that. I believe that's the general gist of the story. It sounds interesting. I think it's a universal release.
Yeah, Tina Gordon's the director,
Gross $13.5 million in the United States. I don't know how that plays out in terms of that marrying with the United Kingdom. I need to try and convert that, but it's probably roughly about $15 million worldwide, so that's okay. It's not too bad.
I don't remember the trailer for this at all coming out. It seems to have been very under the radar here in the UK, John.
All I can say is that little girls get some head of hair. I love it.
Yeah, 5.4 out of 10 as well on IMDb, so it's pretty average.
Yeah.
Pretty average affair. But I've got nothing else to add to that film.
And neither have I, Stephen, so that is going to round up this week's episode of MBE Box Office. If you enjoyed it, you know what to do. Comment below and give your thoughts. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this, and we'll be back tomorrow with MBE Heroes.